Hello fish fools, Jeff here. Just checking out the rummy nose tetras in my 6-foot 84-gallon aquarium. They're looking really good. I'm noticing that because I just, for the first time since I set up this tank over 5 months ago, I scraped the diatom algae off the front of the glass. So it had gradually started building up. Just looking, you can see how it is on the sides. But that was starting to get all over the front and just making it look darker. And now it is looking brighter, but also as I did the water change, I took the lids off. I did not put them back on yet, but it's looking pretty good. And so yeah, in this bag I have 3 more Corydoras, emerald green Corydoras. So as I was doing water changes on multiple tanks, one of them was my wild guppy tank that also had these 3 emerald green Corydoras. So I decided to move those in here to join the existing emerald green Corydoras, where I have these little ones. I had about 6 of those. Those are the first Corydoras I put in this tank, and then another 10-gallon I had these bigger Corydoras, some of them as old as, the oldest would be 4 years old, or I've had them for 4 years old, and that 10-gallon, decided to move those in here, and now these. So I think maybe I might just get a different type of Corydoras. Like, I've never had peppered Corydoras. I think that's what they're called. Maybe that's what I'll end up putting in the wild guppy tank. But put all the, just more to the group in here. And what's new, this Anubias nana. That was in my 5.5-gallon tank. I just did a water change. In my previous video I showed that I added a Siamese algae eater in there. But since that wasn't really a display tank, and this is, and I wanted to add another plant, so I added that in here. And just looking to see what we have. We have the pearl gourami, looking awesome. This tank features schooling fish. There's a Roseline Shark. That one I've had for years. That was in my 29-gallon swordtail community tank before I moved it in here. And unfortunately, that is now the only Roseline Shark I have. When at the same time I got another 2 Roseline Sharks at the time I got these scissortail rasboras that are looking awesome. Those are some of the best schooling fish. The first one, when I added the 2 in here, the first one died and wasn't really looking too good. It never really grew. It was kind of skinny. But the second one was growing big and was looking great, and just out of nowhere, just suddenly I lost it. I saw it one day just across the room. Could see like the underside, shiny belly side up. It was still alive but upside down, and don't know what happened there. And that one died. And the biggest of the rummy nose tetras, I lost that one. But everything else is doing good. The panda garras, 6 of those little, I got them, they were really tiny. They're getting a little bigger. I haven't seen any swordtail fry since when I first added the swordtails. I think it was the first day even, a pregnant female had fry, but I haven't seen any. And there's not much plant cover in here. I did see one of the Neocaridina shrimp. It had been a while since I saw any of those. I saw it like up against the glass and I went up under this mopani wood piece right here. But, you know, glad to know that there's still some in here. Maybe over time I might see some more if they reproduce. And there's one ram's horn snail there. And there is the Siamese algae eater. I had some blackbeard algae in here on that Java fern windelov. I cleaned that up as soon as I put it in here, and there's a bit of staghorn algae on this crinum calamistratum, which is looking awesome. It came out to be just as I envisioned it. I had always wanted to get a crinum calamistratum when I finally got a big tank, and after moving, finally got this 6-foot tank, and crinum calamistratum is looking awesome. This cryptocoryne undulata looking good. There's a little piece propagated off it right here. Hasn't taken off yet, but I expect that it will, since crypts are pretty low maintenance, easy plants. And have some bacopa in here. There, those bacopa stems. Not really much change with those. Lost some of the lower leaves on this one. Got a little second stem that shot up here, but not much growth from those. There's the giant hairgrass. So there was some die-off, but there is new growth, like these shorter pieces that are like kind of brighter green. Those are new growth. That red melon sword is not doing too good. I did put a root tab under there when I did the water change. See if that can come back around. And then there's this. I'm not even sure what that is. Before I moved this in here, it was in my 40-gallon tank. These little plant, this and several others like it, just appeared in that tank. So I think it might have been from that. And then I have this bamboo plant. Just have the roots and the hang on the back filter growing out of that. Just makes it kind of cool looking. Alright, I'm going to release these new Corydoras. Let me see if I can manage this with one hand. Alright, I'm going to try to do this. I'm just going to try to scoop them out with my hand instead of a net. Alright, that's one. Get the second one. And one more. got it. Oh, I lost it. Okay, got it. All right. All right. So now that should make the 13 emerald green Corydoras in here. And the newest one's added, going from a 10-gallon tank to an 84-gallon tank. Going from the 10-gallon to now having 6 feet. I'm sure they will enjoy it. And to be with a bigger group. It'll be cool once the new ones get settled, seeing a group of those scurrying around. So, there is also one brilliant rasbora that was the very first fish that I added to this tank. I do still want to get more of those, the group. I want to get more rummy nose tetras. I do have to get more Roseline sharks. I think the scissortail rasboras, I have enough of those. I'd like to have a dozen Roseline sharks instead of just the one, as it is now. And I do still want to get a pair of dwarf cichlids. I'm thinking cribensis, where that can be their little cave area. And I mentioned before, I had in mind to get Odessa barbs, but it'll just depend on if I will be able to obtain them. But I also have fish in quarantine right now. So this is my 10-gallon quarantine tank, and these are glow light tetras. These will be added to the 84-gallon. So they've been here probably at least 6 weeks, I believe. I did a full treatment of Maricin on them, though they didn't really, they didn't need it. It was because I had a black molly in here that was looking pretty rough. I since removed it, and there's the molly right there, because it was still looking kind of messed up. But so plan was for that to go in the 84-gallon, but I'm not going to do that now. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'll still try to get it to good health, but I think I'm going to try aquarium salt in this by itself. But yeah, so I still want to use General Cure and Icex before I add them to the 6-foot tank. And I might possibly just hold off on that until I get some more fish, so I can just treat them all together if I get a chance to go to my local fish store. Right now I'd like to get cribensis, as I mentioned, Odessa barbs if they could possibly have them, or I was kind of thinking maybe even cherry barbs. If I can get more rummy nose tetras, more brilliant rasboras, and some Corydoras that will likely go in another tank. I was thinking maybe peppered Corydoras, or even, if they have some stir-by Corydoras, I still want to get some of those. More Julie Corydoras for my 40 gallons. But yeah. Let's go back to the 6-foot tank. Yeah, I think this tank is coming along great. I like the setup with the mopani wood and dragonstone or oko stone. Not too many plants where, like some of my other aquariums are bushy with plants. This featuring primarily schooling fish, I want them to have room to swim, but I do want to get some other plants, so kind of balance it out. Some plants in this area. Maybe might kind of thinking maybe wisteria or water sprite or something that I'm not even thinking of if I just see it and I like it. I did try one of the aquarium bulbs back here, but nothing grew from that. Somewhere back there I put it. I have had crinum in another tank that grew from one of those bulbs, and some Aponigeton albaceus. Like those PetSmarts and Petco sell assorted aquarium bulb packages. Yeah. So we got this Anubias that was added. It had some roots. I kind of tucked the roots down, but the rhizome has to be above above the substrate. So the roots will just grow roots and they'll cling. So as long as the roots that are hanging down can like hold it in place for the time being until other roots cling to it. There is glue that can be used that aquascapers use, but I'm not a glue kind of dude. I like to just wedge them in and let them root themselves naturally. Yeah, fish are looking awesome. The garras, cool looking. Alright. Well, that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.